Hey everyone, welcome back to another spine tingling episode of Haunted America, where we peel back the layers of history and sometimes find something darker underneath. Tonight we're climbing to the top of the U.S. Capitol Dome, 19 and a half feet of bronze staring out over Washington, D.C., to meet the Statue of Freedom. She's supposed to symbolize liberty, triumph, and the American dream, but what if I told you her creator never lived to see her installed? And that he poured his life into her plaster form and died in agony just months later? What if the very building she crowns has been whispered to be cursed for over 2 centuries? This isn't just a statue. It's a masterpiece soaked in irony, tragedy, and a touch of the supernatural. Grab your blanket, dim the lights, and let's ascend. Picture Rome in 1855. American sculptor Thomas Crawford, brilliant, ambitious, living the expat artist dream, is hard at work in his studio. He's already won big commissions for the new Capitol extension, including bronze doors, pediments, and allegorical figures. Now, Secretary of War Jefferson Davis wants a crowning statue for the massive new Iron Dome. Crawford delivers, a towering female figure, freedom triumphant in war and peace. His first design was classic liberty with a Phrygian cap, the ancient Roman symbol for freed slaves. But Davis, a staunch defender of liberty, hated it. Crawford reworked it. He swapped the cap for a crested helmet with eagle feathers, a nod to Native American imagery, though not a direct headdress, added a sword, shield, and laurel wreath. She became armed freedom, fierce, watchful, and almost warlike. Crawford called her his masterpiece. He sculpted the full-scale plaster model in Rome, every fold of her robes, every star on her helmet. But as he worked, something was wrong. His vision blurred, and he had pain behind his left eye. Doctors diagnosed the culprit of the symptoms was a tumor, cancer eating through his eye socket and into his brain. Desperate, Crawford agreed to an experimental surgery in 1857, during which they removed the eye and orbital contents. It bought time, but not much. He died in London on October 10, 1857, at just 43, never seeing a single one of his Capitol sculptures installed. His widow shipped the massive plaster model home in crates. It arrived in 1859, was cast in bronze by Clark Mills, with crucial help from enslaved artisan Philip Reed, who perfected the casting, and finally hoisted piece by piece onto the dome on December 2, 1863, amid Civil War cannon salutes. She weighs 15,000 pounds, has been restored by helicopter, and she's been struck by lightning, especially due to the platinum-tipped points. Here's where it gets spooky, though. The U.S. Capitol itself has a haunted reputation that predates freedom by decades. In 1808, during early construction, architect Benjamin Latrobe's assistant, John Lenthal, was supervising an experimental vaulted arch. He removed the supports too soon, so the whole thing collapsed. Crushed beneath the stone and timber, Lenthal lay dying and, according to legend, cursed the building with his last breath. Since then, stories piled up. Shadows of wounded Civil War soldiers still wandering Statuary Hall, where the building served as a hospital. The echoing no of John Quincy Adams, who collapsed mid-debate in 1848, a demon cat that grows massive during national crises. Blood stains on staircases from 19th century shootings that won't fade. And freedom, she's perched above it all. No documented curse ties directly to her, but the timing is uncanny. Crawford dies, pouring his soul into her form. The statue rises during America's bloodiest war over a city divided. Jefferson Davis, who forced the changes, becomes Confederate president. The irony drips, a symbol of freedom, altered to appease slaveholders, now forever atop the People's House. Urban legends whisper more. Some say workers installing her in 1863 met misfortune, accidents, illnesses, bad luck. Others claim staring too long at her from below gives an eerie feeling like she's watching you. And in the dead of night, when the dome lights hit just right, does her helmet crest catch the moon like feathers ruffling in an unseen wind? Of course, skeptics say it's coincidence. Crawford's tumor was tragic but medical. The Capitol's curse is classic folklore. Tragedies breed ghost stories. freedom is just bronze and vision. But on quiet nights in D.C., when fog rolls off the Potomac and Congress is empty, some staffers swear they feel eyes on them from above. Not angry, not benevolent, just present. A masterpiece born in pain, installed in war. Watching over freedom's unfinished story. So next time you're in Washington, look up and see if she stares back. Thanks for joining me in the shadows tonight. If this one gave you chills, drop a comment or share your own Capitol ghost story. Subscribe so you don't miss the next descent into history's weird side. Thank you for listening and have a great day.